All of your homework assignments can be accessed through the Course Assignments panel on your dashboard. Each assignment contains learning and practice activities selected by your instructor. Depending on how your instructor has set up the course, you will either have specific availability and due dates, or you will be able to move through this at your own pace. Use the arrows to the left and right of the circle to scroll through your assignments. The ring around the assignment indicates different things. If the ring is green, it means the assignment is in progress and the ring shows how much of the assignment has been completed. Gray means the assignment is available to work on, and translucent means the assignment is not yet available to work on. Each module is made up of an assignment chain that is made up of a chain of activities and has all the steps you need to complete your assignment. If your instructor chose that a step must be completed, then the icons beyond the current step are inactive and appear grayed out until that step is completed. If your instructor chose that a step can be skipped completely or must be attempted, then the icons beyond the current step are active and selectable. The assignment always begins with a practice warm-up game designed to help you start learning the key math skills needed to complete that assignment. Whether these warm-up games must be completed or merely attempted will be determined by your instructor. At the end of each round, you will get a recap of how you did. After the last round of the warm-up, you'll get a game summary that recaps your overall score in terms of correct and incorrect answers. After completing the warm-up game, the next activity is a short check-in quiz to help you identify which of the assignment's math skills you understand and which skills you may need to spend more time studying. Depending on how the instructor set up the course, your score on this quiz may allow you to skip some of the learning loops that make the assignment. The indicator at the top of the page shows which question you are answering, and you must answer the quiz questions in order. Every time you complete a question, the indicator bar at the top of the screen will show a check mark if you answered correctly or an X if you answered incorrectly. If you skip a question, it will be marked as incorrect. If you skip too many questions or answer too many incorrectly, the quiz will end and you will automatically move on to the learning loops. When you have completed the quiz, the results will show how many questions were answered correctly, incorrectly, or skipped. Based on how you did on the check-in and how your instructor has designed the assignments, you will enter the Learning Loops section and will see how many of the learning loops you need to do or can skip. Each learning loop focuses on a specific math skill and consists of a lesson video, math games, and an exercise set. Your instructor may also include additional content. Your instructor may include just one or multiple learning loops per learning objective. When you begin a learning loop, first you watch the video lesson, which walks you through the problem-solving process for that math skill. Several concepts may be covered in a single video. There are also practice problems to help make sure that you understand the problem-solving process. The concept check questions are multiple-choice questions designed to make sure that you understand the problem-solving process that the video lesson is demonstrating. If you wish, you can re-watch the video in order to review the lesson again. After viewing the video lesson, the next step of the learning loop is playing an interactive game designed to help strengthen your understanding of the lesson. As with the warm-up games, at the end of each round, you will get a recap of how you did. After the last round, you'll get a game summary that recaps your overall score in terms of correct and incorrect answers. The final learning loop activity is an exercise set that requires you to complete several math problems. On average, there will be about 10 problems, but the actual number will depend on your instructor. The indicator at the top of the page shows which question you are answering. To enter your response, simply use your keyboard to enter your answer into the input box. You may also need to use the Math palette to enter in common symbols or fractions. Select the Submit button. When you answer a question correctly, a check mark appears in the input box, and you move on to the next question. If you answer the question incorrectly, an X appears in the input box. This will count as one of your attempts. You have 3 attempts to answer each question correctly. You can tell how many attempts are left here. If you run out of attempts, the Submit button will become inactive and you will have to move on to the next question. Every time you complete a question, the indicator bar at the top of the screen will show a check mark if you answered correctly, or an X if you used up all of your attempts without answering the questions correctly. Sometimes your instructor will require you to show your work. When this is the case, Must Show Work will appear below the Submit button, and you'll use your whiteboard. There are 3 ways you can show your work. 1. Use the drawing tools to write directly on the whiteboard located below the math problem. 2. Use the math palette. 3. Upload an image or photo of your work. There are several ways to get help if you find yourself having trouble answering a question, including a step-by-step tool that shows you the step-by-step process of how to answer this type of math question. After viewing the step-by-step process, you will be given a practice problem to try. The practice problem does not count as one of your attempts. You also have easy access to the walkthrough videos. These are the same as the beginning of each learning loop with examples and concept checks. And the textbook tool allows you to access help in a textbook type of format that provides the same type of step-by-step problem-solving explanations as the other help tools. When you have completed all of the exercises within the learning loop, the results summary will show how many of your answers were correct, incorrect, or skipped. Your instructor will determine how each problem is scored or whether one problem is worth more than another. When you've completed all the assignments in the assignment chain, you'll get an assignment wrap-up where you can see your combined score as a percentage from all the learning loops in the assignment. The summary also shows the total number of questions marked correct, incorrect, and skipped. And finally, you can select to 1. See a detailed report of the combined results. 2. Go to the next assignment, which only appears when your score is high enough, or you have completed all the necessary assignments to advance. This button will not appear if you don't have any more assignments. And 3. Go back to your student dashboard. You can also go back to the dashboard at any time by clicking the Home icon. Any work done will be saved for when you return.